So next we go to a song, and it's called What Comes Next, and it will be coming up shortly. When we met, our love was new, but that part of our love is through. And if I look and act perplexed, it's 'cause I'm wondering what comes next. Many words were spoken then, we got each other broken in. Think of what we've overlooked. How do you like the path you took? I said, take me as I am, and you told me you'd never settle down. Then I found I wouldn't break if I could bend, and you got used to having me around. We've built what we've got with care, so wire doubts I used to have still there. I'm waiting for the day I'll learn there'll always be some stone that's left unturned. No need to run for cover anymore, no need to face the darkness alone. If meeting you is knocking on your door, then knowing you is having found a home. When we met, our love was new, but that part of our love is through. And if I look and act perplexed, it's 'cause I'm wondering what comes next. Thank you very much. At the end of a long, lonely day without you, when the world seems to fall in my face, I'm all right through the day, but the day fades away, and a long, lonely night takes its place. Another night to wish that you were here. I dread each lonely night that's filled with tears. Though I've tried and I've tried, these are tears that I can't hide. At the end of a long, lonely day. At the end of the day, I go up to my room and I watch while the sun fades away. And the loneliness there brings me grief and despair at the end of a long, lonely day. Another night to sit alone and cry. It makes no difference if I live or die. With the world locked outside, I'll just lay there and cry at the end of a long, lonely day. Another night to wish that you were here. I dread each lonely night that's filled with tears. Though I've tried and I've tried, but these are tears that I can't hide at the end of a long, lonely day. At the end of a long, lonely day. Come, all you young fellers, so young and so fine, and seek not your fortune in the dark, dreary mine. It will come as a habit and seep in your soul, till the stream of your blood runs as black as the coal. Where it's dark as a dungeon and damp as the dew, where the danger is double and the pleasures are few, where the rain never falls and the sun never shines. Well, it's dark as a dungeon way down in the mine. There's many a man I've known in my days who lived just to labor his whole life away, like a fiend with his dope and a drunk with his wine. A man can have lust for the lure of the mine, where it's dark as a dungeon and damp as the dew, where the danger is double and the pleasures are few, where the rain never falls and the sun never shines. Well, it's dark as a dungeon way down in the mine. I hope when I die and the ages shall roll, my body will blacken and turn into coal. Then I'll look from the door of my heavenly home and pity the miner digging my bones, where it's dark as a dungeon and damp as the dew, where the danger is double and the pleasures are few, where the rain never falls and the sun never shines. Well, it's dark as a dungeon way down in the mine. Yes, it's dark as a dungeon way down in the mine. I wish I was a mole in the ground. I wish I was a mole in the ground. If I was a mole in the ground, I'd root that mountain down. I wish I was a mole in the ground. Wish I was a lizard in the spring. Well, wish I was a lizard in the spring. I was a lizard in the spring, I'd hear my true love sing. Wish I was a lizard in the spring. Can't be let your hair hang down. Can't be let your hair hang down. Let your hair hang down and your bangs curl around. Can't be let your hair hang down. Can't be once a $9 show. Can't be once a $9 show. When I come over the hill with a $20 bill, it's baby where you been so long. Don't ever marry a railroad man. Never marry a railroad man. A railroad man will kill you if he can and drink up your blood like wine. where you've been so long. I've been in the pen with the rough and rowdy man. Baby, where you been so long? I wish I was a mole in the ground. I wish I was a mole in the ground. I was a mole in the ground, I'd root that mountain down. Wish I was a mole in the ground. Got me that one. Please tell me, my love, why you've become so sad. What dark clouds are gathered overhead? Have hard times come near? Are you troubled, my dear, by something that I might have said? Speak soft and low, know that I'm listening. Trust that your voice will be heard. Don't let what I say ever stand in the way, for actions speak louder than words. When there is anger and harsh words fly, the air can be cut with a knife. Hold on through bad times, cherish the good. I'm told they are both part of life. Speak soft and low, know that I'm listening. Trust that your voice will be heard. Don't let what I say ever stand in the way, for actions speak louder than words. There's nothing we wouldn't do for each other. I wish you could keep that in mind. Take a deep breath. Tomorrow you'll see we're standing the test of time. Speak soft and low, know that I'm listening. Trust that your voice will be heard. Don't let what I say ever stand in the way, for actions speak louder than words.
I will sing you a song of a burglar man. He tried to rob a house. Well, he creeped in at the window, in he crept just as quietly as a mouse. And thinking that no one was at home, and under the bed he did lay, He saw a sight that made his hair turn gray. Well, at 9 o'clock, an old maid came in. "I am so tired," she said, and thinking that everything was well, she forgot to look under the bed. So she took off her teeth and her big false eye, her hair right from off of her head. Well, that burglar man had 27 fits as he jumped out from under the bed. But she did not holler nor scream at all. She stood as meek as a lamb. She said, "My God, my prayers are answered. At last I've got me a man." But she did not holler nor scream at all. She stood there as meek as a lamb. She said, "My gosh, my prayers are answered. At last I've got me a man." So, out from a drawer a revolver she drew, and to this burglar man said, "Young man, if you don't marry me, I'm gonna blow off the top of your head." Well, he looked at her teeth and that big false eye, but found nowhere for to scoot. He looked at that old man standing by. "Woman, for the Lord's sake, shoot!" Thank you.
Thank you.
In time, please.
I'm growing tired of the big city lights, tired of the glamour, tired of the sights. In all my dreams I am roaming once more, back to my home on the old river shore. I am sad and weary, far away from home, miss the Mississippi and you. Dear days are dark and dreary, everywhere I roam, miss the Mississippi and you. Roaming the wide world over, always alone and blue, so blue, longing for my homeland, muddy water shore, miss the Mississippi and you. Yodelay-o, 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 yodelay-o. memories are bringing happy days of yore. Miss the Mississippi and you. Dear mockingbirds are singing round the cabin door. Miss the Mississippi and you. Roaming the wide world over, always alone and blue, so blue. Nothing seems to cheer me under heaven's dome. Miss the Mississippi and you. Yodelay-o, 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 yodelay. I'm sitting here and waiting to see who comes through the door. That certain someone that I'll know but never saw before. The one that I will recognize the moment that we meet. I'm waiting for the sound of little feet. They say that it's a miracle of life. I say that it's a miracle that I'm still with my wife. This waiting really wears me out. I'm absolutely beat and waiting for the sound of little feet. I'm glad to know that it's okay for me to feel two ways, and every feeling in between while counting down the days. just what I need to make my dreary, empty life complete. I'm waiting for the sound of little feet. Friends all take an interest and say, how's the mom to be? I wish someone would ask about old, poor, neglected me. I'll tell you my life story if you'll only take a seat. I'm waiting for the very sound that I can't wait to have around, the teeny tiny sound of little feet.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a week before Christmas. Would you like to hear this story? That's the spirit. You'll be sorry. We can jump ship at any time. I met a fella on the street a week before Christmas, and he told me he'd come to Philadelphia looking for a job as a wardrobe designer. He had a big portfolio of drawings of women's clothing. He was from New England. He got off the train at 30th Street Station in Philadelphia, the Amtrak station, and started to put all his stuff into one of those unmarked taxi cabs. And the cab took off with all his stuff. So I met this guy on my way to a Christmas party, and he told me this incredible story. And I was so taken by his plight. He knew exactly how much he needed to take the train back to Boston. He knew it was cheaper if you take the Suburban Rail to Trenton and then get on New Jersey Transit. He had it all worked out. So we went to the Mac machine, the automatic teller machine, and I lent the guy $100. He gave me his phone number, and I gave the guy a big hug, and I felt so bad about it. And then he said, listen, I'm going to wire you the money tomorrow. If you don't get the money by noon, call me at this number. So, it got to be noon, it got to be 1, it got to be 5 o'clock, and he says,
Jamie, was it a 900 number?
So he says, well, so I call the number. There's no such area code in the state of Massachusetts. Then I called Boston University, where he said he went to school in the school of, wardrobe design or something. They have no school of design. They don't even have an art school. So went down, talked to a detective about it. He said, I never heard this story before. Apparently, these con artists, once they get a story that works, they always use the same story over and over again. So he can recognize people by their stories. And, it's Bob again. Let's go pick up Bob. Bob's at it again. So I basically, kissed my $100 goodbye. Then in June, I went out to get a gallon of milk on a Sunday morning, and I came back. My wife came running out of the house with the Sunday Philadelphia Inquirer. The guy's picture is plastered across the cover page of the Inquirer. She goes, do you recognize this man? Well, it turned out for the last 2 years he'd been taking doctors, lawyers, judges, college professors, suckers like me, for much more than $100, so all these people were prepared to testify against the guy. And one of the people that appeared in court against him. The funny thing was, I told this story like an idiot. I told this story to somebody at the Inquirer, and then the whole thing was in the paper the next day. Philadelphia folk singer Jamie Watson was taken for $100 by this guy. Great. So be careful when you talk to the press. So anyway, one of the people that testified him said, everybody that gave this guy money, we should get together and have a big party since we're all such nice people. So thank you. I'm glad you found it so entertaining. The funny thing was, a month before, I was playing a concert in Boston, and I'd arranged to meet my wife at the Amtrak station there, and I was traveling with our son, who was at the time just over a year old. And at this venue, the person that ran the venue said, park your car, take your stuff in, don't leave your car there, it'll get towed. Went in, changed my son's diaper, came out, my car was towed. My wife was arriving in 20 minutes. So I stopped the first car. I don't even have my coat on. It's like November. And, I had my car towed, and I got my young son here. And the woman's like, oh, my God, go away. So she says, my wife's coming into Amtrak station in 20 minutes. She says, here's $20. Take a cab. Give me your name and address, and I'll send you the $20 when I get home. She goes, no, you better get going. Your wife's going to wonder where you are. I said, how much are the cabs? She says, I don't know. Here's another $20. Just get out of here. So, a month later, I'm thinking this was me, right? So how could I not give the guy the money? $100, I realized, was a little extreme, but... So anyway. So then I made up this tune called Big Cash Giveaway, and I can't tell you how much better it made me feel.
Now I know your M.O. I got a kid, too.
Right. But I was serious. It really happened. It wasn't a con job. Anyway. Tired of giving and just getting burned, and of being unhappy where you are concerned. The place where I kept hope is now filled with doubt. I feel like an old shoe you're about to throw out. I'll sit in the dark and remain all alone. That one hurt too many. It turned me to stone. I didn't set out to burn the last bridge that we crossed. I prefer to have loved than to have loved and lost. You had me to pick on, so what's your complaint? After what you put me through, I feel like a saint. You tell me that goodness is its own reward. I guess I was so good you just got bored. I'll sit in the dark and remain all alone. That one hurt too many. It turned me to stone. I didn't set out to burn the last bridge that we crossed. I prefer to have loved than to have loved and lost. Till I got the nerve to come out and ask you, I guess I was partly to blame. Why did you miss your chance to give a straight answer? Is this your idea of a game? I'm tired of the way that you boss me around and get what you want without making a sound. I refuse to sit waiting for bad news to hit, and you can't fire me because baby I quit. I'll sit in the dark and remain all alone. That one hurt too many. Will turn me to stone. I didn't set out to burn the last bridge that we crossed. I prefer to have loved than to have loved and lost. I prefer to have loved than to have loved and lost. Thank you.
Take it away.
Thank you.
Sweetheart of mine, you know I'm trying to think of the right words to say. Something has changed, and I don't feel the same. Our love is strong, but I still long for life as it was yesterday. And I can't help looking for someone who's easy to blame. It's true that everyone must learn change isn't always so bad. But how can I forget the peace and quiet we once had? A little thing can mean a lot and turn life around in a day. When he can speak, I wonder what he'll say. I finally made up my mind to stop all the running around, and I found contentment just concentrating on you. I wish we had some quiet time so romance could blossom again, but it's just a dream that never will come true. I've never been much good at having more than one love at a time, but I'll make room for both of you in this heart of mine. A little thing can mean a lot and turn life around in a day. When he can speak, I wonder what he'll say. So it's called Weep Anymore, and certainly hope you enjoy it. I am traveling down a long, lonesome road. How I wish that my journey would end. I am traveling down a long, lonesome road, and I'm longing for the day when I see my home again. I mistreated you so upon the day I left. Even now I still sit and wonder why. I mistreated you so upon the day I left. Why did I fail to make it right before I said goodbye? When I'm weary and tired of trouble in this life, it's no wonder I act the way I do. When I'm weary and tired of trouble in this life, I'm ashamed of how it causes me to take it out on you. Lately last night in the dark, I heard a mournful sound. Little one, don't you weep anymore. Late last night in the dark, I heard a mournful sound. There's a pain in my heart I've never felt before. I am traveling down a long, lonesome road. How I wish that my journey would end. I am traveling down a long, lonesome road, and I'm longing for the day when I see my home again. So here's a new song that I wrote. I don't know what it's called yet, but I certainly hope you enjoy it. I wrote this song in the car, but I kept my hands on the wheel the whole time. And hope you like it. I remember a sweet song that I heard long ago. It was the first time I met her, and now I'm trying to forget her, but I can't, and it troubles me so. Because if I still have memories, and if the nights are still long, I'll see the look in her eyes and hear the sound of her voice every time that I hear that song. I remember a sweet song, but I'd like to forget. It's an old friend who finds me and tries to remind me how it felt on the night that we met. And even if I stop wondering and face the fact that she's gone, I may be living without her, but I'll still think about her every time that I hear that song. I cloud up each time I recall how it came to an end. And that song has me hoping we'll get back together again. If I still have my memories, and if the nights are still long, I'll see the look in her eyes and hear the sound of her voice every time that I hear that song. I'll see the look in her eyes and hear the sound of her voice every time that I hear that song. Thank you.
I saw a man at the close of the day standing round my grocery store. His eyes were sunk and his lips were parched as I viewed him o'er and o'er. His little son stood by his side, and unto him he said, "Dear father, mother is sick at home, and sister cries for bread." But he turned around, went in at the door. He staggered up to the bar, and sauntering up to that barkeep, he said, "Please give me one drink more." a year or so that passed thereby. A crowd stood round the door. I asked the reason, one replied, that drunkard is no more. Just then a hearse came slowly by, but no wife or children there. They'd gone before this vile drunkard and left this world of care. So come all you jolly dram drinkers, from this a warning take. Quit that overflowing bottle before it is too late. Never drink and drive. Thank you.
Well, there is a man you'll hear about most everywhere you go, and his holdings are in Texas, and his name is Diamond Joe, and he carries all his money in a diamond-studded jar. And he never much did bother with the process of the law. Well, I hired on to Diamond Joe, boys. I did offer him my hand, and he gave me a string of horses so old they could not stand. And I nearly starved to death, boys. He did mistreat me so. And I never saved a dollar in the pay of Diamond Joe. Well, his bread it was corn dodger, and his meat you could not chaw. And he nearly drove us crazy with the wagging of his jaw and the telling of his stories. I mean to let you know that there never was a rounder who could lie like Diamond Joe. Well, I tried 3 times to quit him, boys, but he did argue so that I'm still punching cattle in the pay of Diamond Joe. And when I go up yonder and it comes my time to go, give my blankets to my buddies, give the fleas to Diamond Joe. Give my blankets to my buddies, give the fleas to Diamond Joe. Oh, you want to play Jason Highchair? Darling, how can I stay here without you? I have nothing to cheer my poor heart. Staying here would be sad love without you. Tell me now that we're never to part. I will pawn you my gold watch and chain, love, and I'll pawn you my gold diamond ring. I will pawn you this heart in my bosom. Only say that you love me again. Tell me why you do not love me. Tell me why your smile is not bright. Tell me why you have grown so cold-hearted. Is there no kiss for me, love, tonight? I will pawn you my gold watch and chain, love, and I'll pawn you my gold diamond ring. I will pawn you this heart in my bosom. Only say that you love me again. Take back all the gifts you have given, the ring and the lock of your hair, and the card with your picture upon it. It's a face that is false, but it's fair. I will pawn you my gold watch and chain, love, and I'll pawn you my gold diamond ring. I will pawn you this heart in my bosom. Only say that you love me again. I will pawn you my gold watch and chain, love, and I'll pawn you my gold diamond ring. I will pawn you this heart in my bosom. Only say that you love me again. Only say that you love me again.
Thanks a whole lot.
Thanks a lot, folks.